Before we start giving Dhamma Talk, we will pay homage to the Buddha by reciting Namo Tassa 3 times. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. We will start talking about Kamasumichachara, sexual misconduct. Actually, we have many informations about it. When we study in Vinaya, or when we study about Kamasumichachara, the Buddha mentioned many different types of women. So, we have 10 types of single women. This is actually, if a man have such a relationship with these types of women, men break the precepts. Women are okay. So the first one is a Madhu Rakita, a woman under their mother's guardianship. So that means she will be from single parents family, only her mother take care of her. Then 2 is a Pitu Rakita, the woman under their father's guardianship. This is also from single parents family. Only father can take care of her. In any situations, if the girl or the woman is under someone's guardianship, then the man must not have such a relationship. If he has such a relationship, it comes to Michachara. Then 3 is a Mata Pitu Rakita. In this case, both the woman under their mother's and father's guardianship. That means she may have both parents. So this one is actually from their parents' consent. If the parents agree, it will be okay. If parent disagrees, this is the Kamasumichachara. Then 4, Badhu Rakita, the woman under their brother's guardianship. So this also, maybe they don't have any parents anymore. Right? Only brother take care of sister. Then 5, Bhagini Rakita, the woman under their sister's guardianship. It will be the same. Only elder sister will take care of younger sister, something like that. In this case, we have to know that they don't have parents. Both brother and sister have to take care of each other. In these situations, we can also say it's under the guardianship. Then we have next one, Nyati Rakita, the woman under their relatives' guardianship. So in this case, she may not have any other brother or sister. She may have other relatives such as aunt, uncle, and grandparents, something like that. Then 7, Goda Rakita, the woman under the family's guardianship, maybe adoptive parents. Sometimes some of the girls are adopted by their parents. Now from one family, this is called adoptive parents. So adoptive parents guardianship also here, one of the factors we have to consider. Then 8, Dhamma Rakita, the woman under a religious community's guardianship. So altogether we have 8 single women. So these 8 are, we call totally single. So they are also under the guardianship. maybe in Asian country, mostly we just live under the parents' guardianship. We live with our family until we get married. That is the culture. Yeah, so especially in Myanmar, we have this kind of culture. So if we have some relationship with this kind of women, then we need their protectors' concerns or their agreement. If they agree to get married or to live together, then it's not Kamasumitra. If they disagree, it's a Kamasumitra. Then 9, Saraka. The woman having a husband. Actually, in this case, Saraka means she may have some engagements since she was born. For example, like some wealthy person, they may approach their parents since the case a little like around maybe a few years old, maybe 10 years old or something like that. They may have some engagement, right? When she grow up, then I will get married with her. This is called Saraka. So this one is engaged woman. If a lady has already been engaged with another man, this is also called still single woman, but not 100% single, right? So if a man has relationship with another man has relationship with this kind of women, then it will be the problem what comes with Sacha. Then 10 is a Sapri Danda. So yeah, Sapri Danda means, I also mentioned the woman entailing a penalty. So in this case, we have to understand one more thing. Some influential people in the community or in the village or in the city or maybe some authorized person will make rules and regulations for the citizen. So if you have relationship with this girl, then there will be some punishment. Then you may be fined, something like that. If she has been protected by this kind of authorized persons or maybe like influenced people is not allowed. So this is also called Kamsumuchachara. So in brief, there are 10 types of single women. 8 of them need some other because they are guardians, the consent or agreement. But the last 2 is no exceptions. If they have relationship with the last 2 is Kamsumuchachara. So again, we have the 10 types of married women. Again, so here we have to understand one more thing. We have different culture in different community. They may have different wedding culture. They may have different wedding ceremony. For example, like in Myanmar, we have Myanmar culture. When you go to India, they may have Indian culture. In Singapore, maybe you may have Singaporean culture. In China, China's culture, Indonesia culture, then similarly Vietnam culture, many different culture according to their community. So all that then lists out in the Pali Canon is Asian tradition, how they get married, how they held wedding ceremony, and how they prove that these are couple. So the first one is Danyakita, the one money brought. So that means the men will buy the girl or the woman. This is called Danyakita. Even in modern community, we can have this kind of relationship. Then this is called married woman. Then again, Chanda Wasini, a desire cohabitant. She lives with the man of her own desire and his agreement. The beloved one with the beloved lives. P-O-B-M Y-C-T. The with parental consent here, we also talk about consent. So one more thing is, okay, in modern community, like boyfriend and girlfriends live together. Now, even in Asian country or what the Eastern country, we have this kind of culture. In many countries, we have this kind of culture. Even they haven't got married, they live together. This is called Chanda Vasini, whether they officially married or not. They are wife and husband, according to Buddha's teaching. So in this case, for example, like another man like the girl, he may approach, he may try to have a relationship with the girl. Then he break the precepts. The girls also break precepts, both. So, okay, in this case, if they have lived together as like a couple, they are called Chanda Vasini. Whether they officially married or not, they are couples, according to Buddha's teaching. But in modern community, it's a little bit complicated. In Buddha's teaching, it's very, very simple. Actually, this one is a very, very strange to me. The first time when I know that kind of culture in Europe. When I was in Latvia, many of couples are not like a married. They live together. And they also say, today I have to go back to see my family. Or I thought, oh, do you have a wife and children? No, she's not my wife yet. She is my girlfriend, but we have 2 points. As a surprise, oh, this kind of culture. Then I also remind him with this message, Chanda Vasini, whether you officially married or not, according to Buddhist culture, she's your wife. They have got 2 children already. This is the first time I have ever known. Previously, I have known something about living together in foreign country, but I don't think they have children. They have family. But this is the first time I have ever known. Oh, they have family. Okay, anyway, that means the Chanda Vasini, whether they officially married or not, if boyfriend and girlfriends live together, this is called couple, according to Buddha's teaching. So they are wife and husband. 3, Bhoga Vasini, a wealth covenant. A country woman becomes a man's wife by receiving certain properties. Okay, here in this case, it can be like furniture, it can be like some houses, something like that. So by giving in modern community, like by giving an apartment or maybe a room, something like that, then she will live together with the man. This also can be considered as wife and husband. This is called wealth covenant. Although here mentioned a country woman, but it also can be any girls or any ladies in modern community. Maybe nowadays they call like a mistress, maybe, right? Maybe like mistress. The man may have a wife, but she may have mistress with maybe another, maybe like apartment or in the condo or something like that. This is called Bhoga Vasini. Then 4, Pada Vasini, a cloth covenant. A destitute woman becomes his wife by receiving merely an outer cloth. And this is only in Asian culture. Maybe in modern community, they also have some, be given the clothes, they become a couple, right? Like this, also possible in modern community. Maybe Bhoga Vasini will be more common in modern society. Number 3 will be more common in modern society. But 4 is a little bit strange to many people, I think. Okay, now 5. Water Patakini, a water boiler. The family's elders dipped her and his 2 hands into a bowl of water, wishing that they should be joined together like water, not to part. This kind of culture can be found in Myanmar. Especially in the wedding ceremony, we have this kind of culture. They will keep water under a bowl. This is like mostly we use silver bowl. Then the boy and the girl, especially bride and bridegroom, hands will be inside the water, deep inside the water. Then elderly people will wish them, right? May you be joined like a water, something like this. So this kind of wedding ceremony can be found in Myanmar. Maybe in any other country because of this kind of culture. I'm not sure. Like maybe Asian time in India they may have this kind of culture. Now also maybe they may have. So then again, 6. Obada Jumbada, one with removed carrying pet. So this one is also a little bit strange to modern community. So she becomes his wife by having her headband for carrying loads removed by him. So this one is a little bit strange to modern community. Actually, when I read some other, I don't remember which books I read. Maybe about some other author, right? Something about and some I think African culture, something like that. Anyway, sometimes according to their culture, they may have this different kind of opinions. Well, in this case, like the girl will keep his carrying pets. Mostly is made of the cloth in Myanmar, mostly. But in other countries, it can be different culture. They can also make it with the hay or something like that. So she will keep it somewhere. If a man came and removed it, then he became her boyfriend or her husband, and he must marry it with the girl, something like that. So it depends on their culture. It depends on their community base. That's why this one is a little bit strange in modern community. Maybe it may have, it may not have. So 7, Dasija Briyaja. So a slave and wife. She's both his slave and his wife. In modern community, now we don't have slavery. It is almost impossible, but also not sure. There will be some other country, they may still have this kind of slavery. Then we can also consider slave and wife. So 8, Kama Karija Briyaja. A worker and a wife. Also similar to the previous one. She's also a worker, she's also a wife. I think this also can be in modern community. Like employee and employer relationship. She is also a housekeeper. A worker and a wife. So 9, the Jahada, 1 flag brought. A captive taken in the conquered territory where the flag has been raised. So we can also understand this is a captive woman. Right? So this is if maybe Asian time, Asian culture, if another one country try to invade another country, if they can capture the lady, then the winner can get, right? They can choose any girl to be their wife. They have this kind of culture. This is also considered as wife, according to Buddha's teaching. Then again, 10, Muhutika, a momentary wife, a prostitute. So this one is very common in modern community. How is it possible a prostitute become wife? This is also temporary wife. So here, in this case, all the 10 women, married women here, if another man has relationship with any of 10 types of women, both of them break the precepts. Then what about the last one, Muhotika, a momentary wife or a prostitute? So in this case, if the first man, okay, there are 2 men, 1 and 2. The first man have already made appointments with the prostitute, although he may give money to her, maybe some money to her as deposit maybe. So if like this, if second man approach her also give money, actually she has responsibility to go to the first person. If she accepts second person, it is breaking precepts for both the man and the prostitutes. So that means first come first. She must serve like this. If she cannot serve like that, first come first serve, right? If she cannot do like this is also breaking precepts. So one more thing here we have to know in this part. The first 8, among the 10, the first 8 need agreement from their protectors, their kata, their guardianships, their guardians. But the second 10 and the last 2 of the first group need husband's agreement. For example, if husband agree his wife to sleep with another man, then this is not breaking precepts. Similarly, right, for the first group, if their protectors agree their girl to sleep with any man, this is also allowable, not breaking precepts. So here we have many different types of arguments about such misconduct. Okay, here we have to know the factors to complete the act of such misconduct. There are 4 factors to complete the act of such misconduct. Next slide, maybe. 1, unlawful woman. Unlawful women. So that means we call unlawful all the 20, right? Unlawful for men. Then 2, having intention to misconduct, to make misconduct. 3, having activities. And 4, he enjoy it. So in this case, sometimes force buying enemies, right? If she didn't have the relationship with the girl, second person will kill him, for example, he cannot enjoy it. In this case, it is exception. So many people also talk about the practice of this such misconduct. In modern society, it's very complicated. We have many informations about such misconduct. Then sometimes we also say, what about a husband cheats wife? It doesn't mention in the Commentaries, right? Then we have to know one more thing. The 5 precepts can be practiced in any time, whether the Buddha appear or not. Although the Buddha does not appear in this world, there are some good people, like noble people, wise people, kind people, they may observe the 5 precepts. Then, if somebody asks me, Pandit, how about husband? If husband cheats wife, it doesn't mention in 5 precepts, but the Buddha laid down the rules for the duties of husband. So you can find the duty of husband in the Singalobara Sutta or Singala Sutta. So you can read this passage. In 5 ways, young householder should a wife as the West be ministered to by a husband. So here I mentioned we have 4 directions. 6 directions, according to Singalobara Sutta, 6 directions. So we have to protect 6 directions. That means we have to fulfill duty to 6 different peoples. Among them, it mentioned the wife is the West. It mentioned like that. That's why we have to protect our West directions. by fulfilling our duties. So one more thing. Here is mentioned duties of husband. Then the first one, by being courteous to her. So that means he must be very polite to her. But don't be rude. Then two, by not despising her. So that means we must not look down wife, especially the husband must not look down the wife. This is also second thing the husband has to follow. Three, by being faithful to her. That means don't cheat on her. The Buddha laid down these rules. This is duties of husband. So that means for moral precepts, I have already explained last week, we have two different things. The first one is to avoid. Second one is to fulfill. Charita and Varita. Charita is to practice or to follow. Varita is to avoid. Two different precepts. So if we talk about abstaining from such misconduct, that is avoiding. But here you mention to fulfill. That means husband must be faithful to wife. This is it, his duty. Then three, by handing over authority to her. So women have different authority in the family member. So husband also must hand over authority to wife. Then four, number five, by providing her with adornments. So from time to time, he must give the present or gifts. Like for example, like a birthday present, or maybe wedding anniversary, something like that. So he must give some adornments. So this is the duty of husband. So we have to know that although the Buddha didn't mention in 5 precepts, if a husband cheats on wife, is not breaking precepts or is breaking precepts. But here in the duties mentioned, if he is not faithful to his wife, he is not a good husband, not a dutiful husband, not a nice husband. We can understand like this. We can also say another way, he is not moral. So again, we have to introduce the duties of wife. Actually, if I talk about duties of husband, then they always to know duty of wife. What are duties, right? That's why I just add all the things in one. So the wife does minister to us the West by her husband, shows her compassion to her husband in 5 ways. So here mentioned, she performs her duties well. That means she must be very expert in houseworks or maybe household works. And 2, she is hospitable to relations and attendants. So she has to take care of both relatives from her husband's side or from her side. Here in this case, like supporting, she has to surely, okay, in this case, we have to understand another thing. This is really financial management. So she has authority to support 2 family. So she has to maintain all the financial. Then she has to arrange all the financial to support 2 families. So okay, number 2 is actually financial management. Then 3, she is faithful to her husband. This one is very easy. Then 4, she protects what he brings. Then that means if husband earns money, she must save the money. This is also financial management again. Then 5, she is skilled and industrious in discharging her duties. This one's clear, right? I don't need to explain the one. So these are duties of wife. So the main thing is in the Kamasumittajara, it has mentioned about wife. If wife cheats on husband, is a Kamasumittajara. Also, here mentioned for husband in the duties. If he cheat on his wife, this is also immoral because of not fulfilling his duty properly. Okay, so Kamasumittajara is in modern community, very easy, right? Especially in Western country, it's very complicated. Sometimes, they have the first boyfriends, but they also have second boyfriends. This is the first thing I have ever known about that kind of relationship. For example, like she has a relationship with the first boyfriends, but not breakup. Before breaking up, she has second boyfriend, something like that. Similarly, they may also have the first girlfriends, have second girlfriends, like that. Very complicated. Also very much easy to break these precepts. The Musawada. Again, I have to continue Musawada again. So when we talk about Musawada, then we also have to know many things in detail about Musawada. Okay, now we have to start with the first one, Dita seeing. Then we have Sutta, hearing. Then 3, Buddha, smelling, tasting, touching. 5, Vinyada, knowing. So in this case, Dita seeing, if we know we have seen something, we may say, I have never seen. This is also cheating. This is also telling a lie. Similarly, we have never seen, but we say, I have seen it. This is also telling a lie. Then 2, Sutta. We have heard, but say, I have never heard it. This is also telling a lie. We have never heard before. We say, yes, I have ever heard. This is also telling a lie. The Mutta, so smelling, tasting, touching. We can understand 2 different ways, right? Similarly, we never knowing. We have known, but we say, I have never known. Sometimes we have never known. We say, I haven't known. These are all called Musawada. Then here we have to know something a little bit different from the untruth things, right? Sometimes, although we say untruths, it will be a little bit different intention. We don't have intention to tell untruths, but by mistake it happened. It will not be Musawada. Then here actually I also mentioned about Valanjaka Musawada. This one will be a little bit different. One is I talk about this one. Okay, here I think in the script I mentioned, when telling a lie for the benefit of the listeners, is called Valanjaka Musawada, such as white lie. In modern community, many people say white lie. Previously, when somebody asks white lie is a Musawada or not, most I say yes. But now when I read carefully, I said no. White lie is not Musawada. Right? This is not Musawada. So here we call Valanjaka Musawada. This is the white lie. We just tell a lie for the benefit of the listeners. For example, now in modern community, I don't know in other country in Myanmar, if the patient has cancer, right? Mostly the doctor will not tell the truth. They will say, okay, please bring this medicine. You must take it every morning, just normal patient, they will say. After maybe 3 weeks or after 3 months, come back to see me, something like that. This is actually white lie. Okay? If he tell the truth, or if the doctor tell the truth, then he may feel upset. Then also mind power will be very weak. That's why she just tell untruth for the benefit of the patient. In this case, is it Valanjaka Musawara. Then, for example, there are many kinds of many kinds of Valanjaka Musawara, such as telling a lie out of fear. Sometimes if we tell the truth, somebody will disturb us. That's why we just say out of the fear. This is also not musawara. Then when making a joke, sometimes we make a joke, it's not truth, right? This is also not musawara. But when in danger, sometimes if we tell the truth, we will be in danger. This is called Valanjaka Musawara. So we can, although we hide, for example, we may see some thieves running, right, around. Then many people are following him. They ask me, have you ever seen a man running here? We may say, no. Because if we say the truth, he will be killed, right? So maybe if we don't say the truth, just keep silence. You can find it by yourself. Or how do you think? We can put counter question, something like that. Okay, anyway, the main thing is, when in danger, this is also Valanjaka Musawara. It's not musawara. It's not really telling a lie. So again, here we have to know the 4 factors to accomplish the act of telling a lie. The first one is untruth things. So I have already said seen as unseen, something like that. Unseen as a seen. Then 2, having intention to tell untruth. This one is very important. Then 3, activities. Yeah, activity means although we don't speak out, we just shake our heads, or we just nod our heads, or we just use our hands. Gesture, right? When gesture, people also can know our inner desire, our intentions, our speech, using body language. That's why it's called activities. Then 4, the listener understands it. This is called musawara. So for musawara, I think this is some new information for you, especially about Valanjaka Musawara is new information for you maybe. Even it's very new to me. Previously I have read many books, but recently I have found this one. Okay, now again, we have Surah Melea, the next group. Today I will try to finish 5 precepts, right? So the first one is Surah. Then, okay, Surah, the original of the Pali word Surah means brave. So naturally, we are not that brave. But after taking intoxicant, we become brave. We will speak whatever thing we like. We will do whatever thing we like. That's it called Surah. It makes people's mind change. Then again, here we also have to know how many types of Surah. So they are mentioned. There are 5 types of Surah. 1, Pita Surah, mild, gray, malt. So I think you can understand this one. Then 2 is a Puva Surah, bread, malt. So this one is also a little bit simple. Right? You don't need to think about too much. So okay, if we talk about bread malts, it also can be like a made of the wheat or flour, right? Ordinary Surah, rice malts, is made of the rice. Then Kina Pakita Surah with yeast added. I think yeast can be found everywhere, right? Even in vinegar and enzyme, also the yeast, right? So that means if it's like an intoxicant, it can make your mind change. This is called Surah. It's just for health purpose, not that much strong. It doesn't matter. Later, I will explain a little bit more in detail. So 5, Sambara Samyukta Surah. With ingredients blended. That means let's say all the ingredients. This is called Surah. Then we have another one, Melea. So when we talk about Melea, what's the meaning of Melea? Intoxicates or fermented liquor. This is called Melea. It's only fermented. So the first one, there are 5 types of Melea. Pupa sour, flour liquor. So made of flour, fermented flour, come from fermented flour. Then also Pala sour, fruit liquor. Then Madra sour, fermented honey. Gula sour, sugar liquor. And Sambara Samyukta, with ingredients blended. These are called Melea. So it depends on the material we make. It will be different types of Surah or Melea. Okay, the main thing is if we take the liquor or any kind of intoxicant, although a bhikkhu tastes it with a thread of grass, that means bhikkhu may touch the intoxicant with the grass. After that, try to touch with his tongue. This is also Vajidhiya. Even small drop is not allowed. Even to taste is not allowed. So, actually, for this part, we have many different types of opinions from many different commentaries. Anyway, there are some other arguments about it. What about medicine? In modern community, we have many different types of medicine. Some medicine includes alcohol or maybe yeast or something like that. So, actually, many of medicine also have, right? One of the ingredients is alcohol, for example. If like this, what to do? Is it allowable or not for bhikkhus? So here we have some exceptions about this Surah Melea. The first one is, if it is not the smell of alcohol, for example, there are many other ingredients, they cook together, then if we taste it, no smell of alcohol is allowable. Then, for example, like the color of alcohol, if color is white, is also the problem, right? So no more color of alcohol, no more taste of alcohol, then it will be allowable. Sometimes the alcohol is a very small amount, it's not intoxicant, it cannot make mind change. This is also not Surah Melea, not breaking these precepts. So the main thing is that we have to know, is it really intoxicant or not? Or it can make mind change or not? It make mind crazy or not? If the medicine we take make our mind crazy or maybe something different, we change in the mind too much or too much active or something like that, we have to reconsider. Then the factor to accomplish the act of taking intoxicants. We have many different types of opinions from different commentaries. So according to Samoha Vinodani and Itihudaka Atakata, okay, Samoha Vinodani is a Abhidhamma commentary. Itihudaka is one of the small texts from Khuddaka Nikaya. So one, it must be one of Surah or Melea. So I have already list out Surah and Melea, 5 types of Surah, 5 types of Melea. 2, having intention to take it. So sometimes by mistakes, thinking as a water we drink, right? In this case, is exception. Then 3, making efforts to take it. This one is very clear. I don't need to explain. Then 1 takes the intoxicants. These are 5 factors according to Samoha Vinodani and Iti Udaka. Then again, according to Samyutta Atakata, next part, right? In the Samyutta Atakata, mentioned it must be one of the Surah and the Melea. Already mentioned. Then 2, wanted to take it, similar to having intention to take it. 3, 1 takes the intoxicants. This one is also. Then 4, 1 gets drunk or negligent. That is different from previous one. So there are some people, they say, after taking intoxicants, after taking alcohol, if we don't make problem, it's okay. But according to Buddha's teaching, if you get drunk or negligent, it's the problem. This is not allowable according to the Buddha's teaching. Then again, we have to know according to Vinaya. This will be the last part of today's Dhamma Talk. In Vinaya, we have 1 rules laid down by the Buddhas. In the very beginning of Bhajitiya, not very beginning, sorry. In the Bhajitiya rules, it mentioned taking intoxicant is Bhajitiya offense according to Vinaya. Actually, Venerable Sagata, he had attained second power. Then he he can tame a serpent, a dragon, by his second power. Then many people has a very strong devotion to him. Then some people ask, how should we offer to him? Then Tabagya Bhikkhu recommended lay devotees. Actually, alcohol is a very, very rare for bhikkhus to get or to take. Then many people offer him alcohol or intoxicants. Whenever Sagata take it, he took and he got drunk. Previously, he respects the Buddha too much. Then one day he was falling down on the ground. Although he has very strong psychic power, no more psychic power at the time. Just fall down on the ground, lying down. Then when the Buddha came, he couldn't recognize. Then the Buddha said, you can see, previously Sagata respects me too much. But now, as you see, he placed his legs to me. Then the Buddha laid down this rule. Bhikkhus are not allowed to take intoxicants. So according to Vinaya, there are only 2 factors. It must be one of Surah or Melea, and 2, taking it. It doesn't mention any attention. This is according to Vinaya rules. So, okay, today we have already talked about Surah Melea. Then in our community, we have many other controversy about, for example, like a vinegar, and we also have enzyme. The smell is like alcohol. The taste is also like alcohol, but it does not cause anybody negligence or intoxicant or get drunk. It will be allowable. Sometimes some people also say it also can get drunk if you take too much. So here we have different opinion about it. Some people say we should not take like a vinegar or enzyme. Other people also say it's okay. It does not. We cannot get drunk by taking it. So if we suspect, don't take it. So we also suspect, but we take it. That means we knowingly break precepts. If we suspect, don't take it. If we are going to take it, don't suspect. We must believe. We must know is it really intoxicant or not. So very clear one is if somebody, the easiest one is if somebody come and offer juice or like some other new ingredients or new types of juice, we have to ask, is this intoxicant or not? For example, when I visited Sri Lanka, they say ginger beer. Oh, ginger beer. I was scared. What's the ginger beer? But do you want to take ginger beer? Then I say, no, why I have to take the beer? But it's not beer, it's just juice. This is the first I have ever known. Ginger beer is a juice. Why this beer is a juice? It's not juice, beer is a beer. No, but it's just name. So it's a ginger. This traditionally they call it beer, but not real beer. No intoxicants. So that means sometimes we have to ask everything clearly, what kind of juice it is. After that, if we suspect, we have to avoid. Okay? So here, one more thing, we have to review all the precepts today. Today we have already finished 5 precepts. So the first part is Kamasumichachara. Although I mentioned many different types of factors according to suttas, but in Vinaya, we have one thing, especially in Bhikkhu Parajika, there are only 2 factors. It's agramaniya. Second one is incertain. Genital organ to genital organ. So this is laid down by the Buddha. So for about lay person, it will be different. Right? It must be allowable. Women also having intention to misconduct, having intimity, having such a relationship, we can say like that, he enjoy it. This is the factors for lay devotees. For about Musawada, it will be the same for both bhikkhus or lay devotees. Untrue things, having intention to tell untruths, they're making actions, making efforts, only the listener understands. So for our Surah Melea, now what we have said today, there are many things we have to know about Surah Melea. In modern community, she is very, very mixed with intoxicants. Very, very mixed, very, very complicated. Ancient time they just take, drink, but now injection. Also small pill, capsules, many, many different forms of different types of intoxicants in modern community. So all the things can be considered as Surah Melea. Then one more thing here about smoking. So there are some culture, even in Buddhist culture, we have some along about smoking. That means just for health purpose. They may use some special medicine. They make a cigar and they smoke. And for their health purpose, if we take it, if we smoke, it doesn't matter, it's okay. But just for fun or just for just wasting money, in this case, it's not allowable. So sometimes people also say smoking is not intoxicant, it's allowable. But in any way, we should not waste our money. Also, it's not very good for our health, right? If health purpose allowable, if not health purpose, we should not smoke. So for about smoking, we have some arguments. Is it Surah Melea or not? It's not sure. But if we use special chemical, then we may go crazy after taking it. This is very clear. This is intoxicant, Surah Melea. So, okay. The main thing is 5 precepts. Now today we have already finished 5 precepts, and you have no Banadipata, Adinadana, also Kamsamichachara, Musawara, and Surah Melea today. So 5 precepts is practiced by good people, whether Buddhists or non-Buddhists. Although the Buddha does not appear in this world, good people will practice the 5 precepts. It also for the good of our community, for the good of ourselves. Now, one more thing here we have to know, Panadipata. Although we don't kill living beings, if we don't have loving kindness towards living beings, this is not good person. When we study in the Sutta, most of the time, the Buddha mentioned, Lachi Dayapano. That means we must know it is shameful things to kill living beings. Second one is Dayapano. We must have loving kindness towards living beings. Whenever the Buddha talk about Panadipata, the Buddha used this passage. Similarly, when we talk about Adinadana, we also have to understand we must protect other people's properties. When we talk about Kamsumichachara, we have to understand we must protect other people's families. Although they cannot protect their family, we have to protect. Then again, tell them the truth. To establish or to build trust in the community, we must tell the truth. Taking intoxicants, also harmful for community, harmful for ourselves. Then, okay, here we have to analyze 2 more things. The first one, Panadipata, Adinadana, Kamsumichachara are bodily wrong actions. The Musawada is by wrong actions. It doesn't mention all other bodily wrong actions. Sorry, by wrong actions, sorry. Such as harsh speech, like uses words, also like a slandering or backbiting, also useless talk. Although we are following, we are practicing Musawada, we can abstain from Musawada. But if we say harsh speech or other things, this also no good person anymore. We have to follow all the body wrong, power wrong actions. The Surah Melea is the key players of all the precepts. If we take intoxicants, we can also kill. We can also tell a lie. We can also steal other people's properties. Okay, here, in the sense of stealing, we also have said destroying other people's properties. Right? Also can be. Then Musawara also can be. That's why if we can break precepts, we can be immoral. Also, it will be harmful for our community. If we can observe precepts, it will be helpful for our own dignity. Also, it will be helpful for our community. So, may you all be able to practice the Buddha's teaching, and may you all be able to practice the 3 trainings, and may you all be able to realize the final cessations, inner suffering, Nibbana.
Referring to lesson 4, the last lesson, can Bante can Sayadaw explain the meaning of Dukkata, Tulachaya, and Parajika?
Okay. Dukkata means wrongdoing. Okay, so I have to analyze in Bali, right? So Parajika means depriving or failing or failure. So for about Tunajaya, Tuna means very serious or very strong. Ajaya means offense, very strong offense or very serious offense. Then Dukkata means wrongdoing. So according to Vinaya, we have many different types of offense. Very strongest one is Parajika. If somebody break Parajika, like for example, having sex, such a relation with any man or woman or animals, this is a breaking precepts. Only one way, disrobe or live as samnida. Totally defeated or failure. This is the Parajika. Then second stronger one is Sanghadisesa. We have to do some provision if we have break these precepts. The another one is the Tunajaya. So Tunajaya, we don't have any special rules and regulations for Tunajaya. It's something very close to Parajika or Sanghadisesa. This is called Tunajaya. Very heavy, right? Then, okay, another one is Pajitya. Pajitya can be divided into two. Nisagya Pajitya, that means we have to relinquish, or we also have to confess. Then, Tunajaya also we have to confess. Then again, we have pure Pajitya. We don't need to relinquish anything. Just, for example, if we accept money, we also have to relinquish money. We also have to confess. This is one Nisagya Pajitya. If we tell untruth, this is only Pajitya. We don't need to relinquish anything, right? Then this is called Pajitya. Then another one is Padidesaniya. Padidesaniya means they have a specific way of confession. Padi means specific. Desaniya means confession. So specific confession. So then we have to confess according to given, right? The given informations, given methods in the text. Then another one is Dukkata. I have said wrongdoing. This is also minor offense. Then the last one is Dupasita, wrong speaking. Such a, for example, like making joke. Right? Making joke means, his name is, for example, Tisa. We just change. Here's the data, something like this. Making joke. This is called Dupasita. Anyway, so we have 7 types of offense according to the heaviest, from heaviest to the lightest, right? We can understand like this. Okay, next one.
In the previous Dhamma Talk, Sayadaw said to be mindful in daily life. I don't really understand how to be mindful both during sitting meditation and in daily life. Mindfulness or samasati in Chinese, 正念, sama is 正, sati is 念. In Chinese language, 念 is positive, just like sati is positive. If another Chinese wang is added before 念, it became negative. Wandering thoughts in Chinese, 妄念. Now I am doing meditation and am told toward all my own thoughts, don't follow, don't accept. When I have thoughts with hatred mind, easily not to follow, not to accept. After 3 days, I remove the wandering thought with hatred mind, and the tanha mind arises in the sitting meditation. But towards the wandering thoughts with tanha mind, with happy feeling, I just follow and accept. I cannot successfully reject the wandering thoughts with craving as told, don't follow, don't accept. Then I began to think about the second sutta preached by the Buddha. Rupa is anicca, Vedana anicca, Sana anicca, Sankhara anicca, Vijnana anicca. So thoughts belongs to the same, to the Sana and Sankhara Kanda from Dhammika.
Actually, when we are practicing mindfulness of breathing, it should be only mindfulness of breathing. We don't need to think about sankhara or vijnana or 5 decades or 12 phases or something like that, right? If we analyze too much, it will be very, very complicated. So in the sense of mindfulness, we have many different objects. We have many different types of meditation subjects. As long as we know one thing, one object, that means is mindful. In the case of vipassana, it will be different. For example, when we are practicing 4-element meditations, we have to know the 4 elements clearly. If we are descending ultimate mentalities, we have to know mentalities clearly, something like that. So here, actually, I don't say accept or reject. If we talk about mindfulness, just bring your mind back to the main object. It's more convenient. Okay, we don't say accept or reject. Okay.
The next question is, in some medicine, it may contain opium or some drugs. Taking such medicine, our mind may be not so conscious and clear. Taking such medicine, will it break precept?
Okay, so in this case, if it's intoxicants or something like a drug, okay, I don't remember exactly, or maybe like a morphine, right? Morphine for cancer patients. Also, we have to consider all these things as really, we have to consider very carefully. Well, the physician will recommend the patients to take morphine when they have very much pain because of their cancer, due to their cancer cell. Now, in this case, we have to think about it. Is it intoxicant or not? Right? Mind is not very clear, like a, like a tranquilizer mind, maybe, right? Tranquilizing their minds, and also just closing eyes, like a drowsy, something like that. Mind is not very clear. In this case, just for the intention is not for intoxicants. The intention is just for like a comfort or for recovery from their like a pain, something like that. Painkiller, something like that. In this case, we have to consider this is a Surah Melea or not. For other physicians, if we have some replacement, we should take the better one, right? For example, when you are going to meditate, if we just take this kind of medicine, we cannot focus on the breath. We cannot focus on the meditation subject. This is very, very bad for the meditators, very, very harmful for meditators. So it depends on the situations. I cannot say exactly, okay?
Someone lay person believe drinking red wine is good for health. So every day a small cup of red wine before sleep. Not negligent, so in this case, breaking the precept or not. When eating meal, a little wine to be happy, not negligent for layperson breaking the precept or not.
Okay, in this case, we have to think about how do they make this wine? Wine is a Surah or Melea. We have to think about it. I think wine is maybe come from Melea, maybe, right? I think, right? Because like a fruit liquor. Mostly, for example, like I have seen many shops. They sell, for example, like strawberry wine or something like that. Right? Strawberry wine. Also, I don't remember all. Right? For example, like sometimes they also like a grape wine, something like that. Anyway, I think it comes from Melea, maybe, I'm not sure. So if something similar to Surah or Melea, we should avoid. Okay?
And the next question is, Musawada precept is very difficult to observe even for monks. So I think if a person has Kiri Ottappa, it's good enough even a person is not Buddhist and no precept.
Actually, Hirodabba and since precept has a relationship. When we study right? Sila, morality. And we have already talked about the proximate cause of morality. It mentioned moderation and moral tracts. These two are the proximate cause of morality. So Hirivatapa actually come from respect. We call Garawa in Pali. Ata Garawa and Para Garawa. Respecting oneself, respecting other people. Also including respecting Dhamma. Anyway, so the main thing is, if we have Hirivatapa, we have morality. If we break precepts, no morality. So that means no Hirivatapa. So that means if we talk about Hirivatapa, then there is a morality. If we talk about morality, there must be Hirivatapa. They have a relationship. Without Hirivatapa, no morality. Without morality, no Hirivatapa. They have a relationship. We have to understand like this. Okay?
If someone found out that a bhikkhu has some conduct towards some woman disciple secretly, how should this be handled according to the Vinaya?
If bhikkhu found, someone found what? Okay, can you repeat the question? Someone found a bhikkhu?
If someone found out that a bhikkhu has some sexual misconduct towards some woman disciple secretly, how should this be handled according to the Vinaya?
Okay, so in this case, it's a little bit difficult to handle because no witness, no evidence, right? If we have some evidence, it will be easier to handle the case. So otherwise, they may just people defame him, something like this. It's just rumor, something like this. So we must have witness, right? That means now modern community is very easy, like for example, like a video file or audio file or picture or something like that. Anyway, so in this case, according to Vinayas, we have to ask both parties, the female and also the bhikkhu. If the bhikkhu admitted, okay, it's very easy to handle. If the bhikkhu didn't admit it, it's very difficult to handle in this case. So if he admitted it, okay, test him, let him destroy. It doesn't matter. Finish. If he say no, I just touch her, and it's only Sanghadisesa, okay, just do Sanghadisesa. So we have to decide what the bhikkhu says. And this is one thing. Another thing is if the lady who saw is like for example, like a Visakha, right? Like Visakha, the noble person. So although she is a noble person, she may not tell a lie. She may say the bhikkhu is sitting together with the lady, or maybe I saw him in the bed, something like that. If the bhikkhu say no, she cannot do anything. So in this case, we have to decide according to what the bhikkhu said. Okay, according to Vinaya, there's only one way we can do.
How about having a mistress? In some custom, having a few wives is acceptable. Is mistress considered as married woman?
Okay, so mistress also supported by, right, the husband. We can say like that, right? So in this case, mistress also can be considered as Bhoga Vasini, have sex, right? Giving her some properties, some money, pocket money or something like that. She may keep her husband wife kept her somewhere, keep her somewhere. In this case, we can say this also wife. So in this case, if another man approach her or have some relationship, it will be the problem. So mistress also can be the first type, Bhoga Vasini, or maybe like if he give some like apartment or something like that, it will be also can be considered another type, right? Okay.
If a bhikkhu tries to contact woman and having sexual misconduct via improper speech and mind, is this considered as breaking this precept? Some say that this precept can be considered broken if having such mind without even verbal or bodily transgression.
Okay. In this case, according to Vinaya, a bhikkhu has only bodily actions. It should be okay. But body action is varajika. But what about bhava actions? It depends on what he say. For example, then we may have some dodana vajasikabra in Sanghadisesa. Like the bhikkhu will talk to a woman about like a sex or something like that, maybe by telephone or by message or something like that, then it will be considered as Sanghadisesa according to the rules, according to the Dodana Vajasikabra. Then there he may say anything about like many stupid things. For example, like when your mother will agree, for example, that kind of things, right? Then when I can be with you, something like that. If we say that kind of things, then sure, this is also something very close to this offense. So okay, briefly, bhikkhu must, even we have mentally something improper, as long as it does not come as a bhava actions and bodily actions, it's not offense. Mentally, this is it. Actually, purely mentally is not offense, but mentally and bodily combined together, offense. Mentally and bodily combined together is offense. So, by purely mental transgression is not offense. We can understand like this. Okay. So, okay, briefly, if I summarize, if bodily he makes such a relationship with, he may have such a relationship with a lady, it will be bodily, it will be parajika. If bhavali is Sanghadisesa. Okay, now one more thing is like now text message. This also can be considered as right bodily actions, right? But this is not such a relationship. That's why it's also Sanghadisesa. We can understand like this. Okay, next one.
Next question is, how about a divorced woman? Is she under which category?
Okay, so in this case, she's a free woman. We cannot say this is another guardianship. So free from all these types, right? It depends on her. If she wishes to have a relationship with any man, she's a free. But one more thing, when she has boyfriend or something like that, is also according to the list I have mentioned.
Next question is, if a disciple had seen and knew the serious mistake of a Dhamma teacher, but in order not to destroy this teacher, he keeps this wrongdoing as a secret. Without saying, is it also considered as musawada? And seeing this teacher still teaching Dhamma and still taking the respect and support of many devotees, it is like cheating. This disciple will feel unwholesome in the mind. Does this disciple keep breaking the musawada precept?
Okay, in this case, the disciple didn't say anything, right or wrong. Okay, just keep silent. So we cannot say it's a musawada. But if you say untruth, there is a musawada, right? Now here truth, but she didn't say. Without speaking anything, we cannot say musawada. Also, without writing anything, we cannot say musawada. If she writes something untruth, it will be musawada. So if she speaks something untruth, this is musawada. So now no saying, no writing, we cannot say musawada. Okay.
Next question is, in case of Surah, if this Surah is used for cooking, is it allowable? In the case
okay. Okay. In
the case of enzyme, it is used as supplement for medical reason. Is it allowable?
Okay. So for our cooking, after cooking, you may not smell alcohol, you may not taste alcohol, then you may not, the color will change, right? In this case, it's allowable, as long as it does not make you negligent. Then what about enzyme? Enzymes are not intoxicating, right? As somebody say, if we take too much, then there will be some drunk, then the drunk out can get drunk, say like that. Anyway, So enzyme is mostly is the medical purpose. It doesn't matter. So one is so strong that if you can get drunk, then don't take this one. This is intoxicants. Then also it is like a similar alcohol, right? That's why it's so strong and it's like alcohol, then it's not allowable. It depends on the ingredient also. I don't know exactly what inside too much, right? Anyway, if I say, as long as you didn't get drunk or you don't feel negligence, it's okay.
In one Jataka story, our Bodhisattva committed sexual misconduct and lost his psychic power. After he told the truth, he gained back his psychic power. What is the reason behind this story?
After he told the truth?
After he told the truth, he gained back his psychic power.
Okay, in this case, he is an ascetic, maybe. I think you just talk about Mutu Lakana Jataka, something like that. Sorry? I don't remember this one. Anyway, so Haritija Jataka Mutu.
Yeah, continue with the question. After he told the truth, he gained back his psychic power, Bodhisattva. What is the reason of this story?
Actually, no, it's something misunderstanding about the story. Not by getting the truth, he gains psychic power. Actually, he has to practice to regain his psychic power. This is some mistake, I think. Maybe translation problem, maybe.
Okay, another question is, in Bodhisattva's stories we study, Bodhisattva broke other precepts except the fourth precept of Musawada. What is the reason?
What's the reason? Okay. Musawada also, actually, if we tell a lie, we can make all other mistakes. For example, we may kill. If we say we don't kill, we can say like that, right? Because this is telling untruth, right? Can make all other mistakes. That's why Buddha didn't tell untruth.
Is Valanjaka Musawada consider breaking the precept? What does Valanjaka mean?
Okay, Valanjaka means actually using, or we can say like using something like that, right? Valanjaka Musawada is not breaking precepts.
Misalo, in Vanara Jataka, Bodhisattva was born as a monkey and told a lie to the crocodile that his heart was left on the treetop, and the crocodile believed in him. Does this kind of lie count as Musawada and not broke the fourth precept? Thank you very much.
Okay, in this case, it's Valanjaka Musawada. We just have to talk about Valanjaka Musawada, right? So that means he is in danger. That's why he just said untruth.
Referring to precept number 1, a human being has body and mind and his or her timeline. However, if a woman kicks her 5 weeks embryo, which has not got a body and mind yet, would you please explain this case, how much bad result they are, and what should be done to diminish this bad karma?
Actually, in this case, we have to understand according to the actions, right? In Paramatipada, we have to talk about sila, morality, right? So, okay, we have to value the people with their morality, the first things. So if morality is very high, it will be very heavy offense, very heavy mistakes. Then very big mistake, we can say like that. Another one is effort. How much effort does she make for it? This is the second thing we have to understand. Another defilements. How strong the defilements to destroy that one. So according to all these situations, we have to consider. So for about karma, if we have done, it's already karma. So as long as we don't recall the one, it will be okay. So only one thing, don't recall. Just determine, I will never make the same mistake again. Finish. Okay?
Could Sayadaw please advise what is the history and origin of the 5 precepts? And second is, was it the Buddha who triggered these 5 precepts?
Actually, although we cannot know exactly when it started. So although the Buddha's parents, then they follow the 5 precepts, they practice 5 precepts. But at the time of the Buddha explains more in detail about 5 precepts. Now, for example, now we talk about different types of women, and also different types of Surah and Melea. It mentioned very many things in detail about 5 precepts. This thing will be different, right? Then according to the different community, there will be different types of material. For example, now, intoxicants. Ancient time, it has mentioned, right, Surah and Melea. But now, many things more than that. We can do injection, smoking, many different things. All these things can be considered as Surah and Melea. All right? So, it depends on the traditions and culture. We may have different types of 5 precepts. For example, like some other the community, they may allow to kill animal, but they are not allowed to kill human being, something like that. It depends on the community. There will be different types of 5 precepts. Okay, the main thing is we cannot say the Buddha started that one. It comes from good people, moral people. Okay.
Dear Sayadaw, if a bhikkhu have committed the 4 parajika, so after she become a samanera, so according to the offense, he has regained his purity, but the karma is still exists. With this karma, would this bhikkhu who has this robe will fall in the hell in future?
Okay, so it will be different situations, right? So one more thing, heavy or like a normal offense, it depends. Here may 4 parajika or 4th parajika. One of the 4 parajika.
4 parajika. One of the 4 parajika.
One of the 4 parajika, right?
Yes, Sayadaw. Okay. And become a samanera after that.
Okay. So one more thing. Although he live as a samanera, if he can practice very well, he can take hardship. If he can take hardship, no more suffering in the hell or anything, right? It depends. So similarly, as a lay devotees, although he cannot attain hardship, he can also attain anagami. If he attain hardship also, he can pass away in that very day. No more future, no more akusala, no more reverse. So if he has to be reborn as a human being or as a deva or something like that, it depends. So one more thing, 4 parajika is very heavy for bhikkhus. But one more thing, among the 4 parajika, the first one is if he has such a relationship with a bhikkhuni, it becomes very heavy offense. He will be remain in the hell. Definitely, no excuse, no other ways. This is a very, very heavy offense. Bhikkhuni Drusaka. So another thing is if he kill his own parents, also mighty karma, he will be reborn in the hell. Very clear. Then what about other cases? As long as no very heavy offense, then it depends on his near-death moment of death. It will be many other exceptions. Okay?
A lay person, if he committed the 5 precepts, although he has take the 5 precepts, although he has not, although he can take the 5 precepts again, but would the karma bring this lay person to be reborn in the hell in the future life?
Because of breaking precepts, right?
Yeah, 5 precepts for lay person.
Mm-hmm. It will be not much different from the bhikkhu, right? For example, like a mighty karma, this is a little bit different. Similarly, like a telling untruths, right? He may persuade many bhikkhus then he may persuade many people to do different Sangha transactions in the Sima, something like that. It will be the Sangha Bedaka. So it depends on what kind of thing he has done. If very heavy karma, he will be the one in the hell. It's just normal karma. It depends on his near-death moments. We cannot decide exactly.
Next question is, what is your opinion? Currently, several countries have legalized marijuana plants. Is it Surah Melea or no? Marijuana plant is a weed. It's a kind of soft drug. It's from plant. A kind of leaf.
Leaves are?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know that one.
So it's ganja, like ganja. Like
ganja.
one of the drugs.
Oh, like this?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, also, it like drugs. Okay, the drugs is also Surah Melea, sure. Right? Drugs mean it make negligence, it will make unconscious or something unclear in mind, right? If like this, it will be Surah Melea, sure. Okay, next one.
Mandamisiado, Walanjaka Musawada, can it be told? Would there be any disadvantage telling this Walanjaka Musawada? And for Surah Melea, if someone makes alcohol himself, makes this spirit drinks himself, but he didn't drink but offer to others, would that be allowable?
Okay, what about Walanjaka Musawara? We have a good intention, right? So that's why it's okay. We're gonna say this is a bad effect or bad the main parasite. We're gonna say like that. What about the one you said, like Surah Melea? We may sell, right? We may serve other people. So as the Buddhists, we have along the traits. One of them is liqueur traits or intoxicant traits. This is not allowed for Buddhist devotee. It's a wrong livelihood. Okay?
Vandamisiado, about a layperson who has taken 5 precepts, not married, and he has a sexual relationship with others. Would they consider sexual misconduct and break the 5 precepts? And second part of the question, a married woman who has take 5 precepts, he cannot commit some sexual misconduct. But before married, if he take 5 precepts and before married, can she commit can she conduct this normal sexual relationship with others?
Okay, so it depends on the situation. We have to understand differently. For example, like the first question, right? That means before marriage or after marriage, the first one?
The first one is before married and have sexual relationship with others before married.
Okay, this is one. Okay, so the first one is actually, like I have said already, this is like a boyfriend and girlfriend. They have been living together. Then the girlfriends cheating on the boyfriends. In this case, this is Kamsumi-chachara. That means he may sex with another man, right? This is also Kamsumi-chachara. So this is before marriage. They mean not officially married, living together with the boyfriend. She became Chanavasini wife. The desire converted. This is the first part of the question. Second one is before marriage, or it will be the same, right? That means with other men. So one more thing, no boyfriends. Then you are free. Now that in this case, we have to think about one more thing. If the girl is okay, she does not make any mistakes. The boy is the problem. She is a single woman, but there's some guardianships of their parents or something like that. If the girl has relationship with the boy breaks precepts. The girl is okay. She's free. That's why it will be different situation according to the different sides, right? Okay.
I read the following somewhere regarding integrity. These Buddha's sayings, when people feel no shame in telling a deliberate lie, as the Buddha once said, there is no evil that such a person might not do. People of this sort, the Buddha said, aren't even worth talking to, much less talking on as teachers. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Yeah, we have some similar statement in the Buddha teaching, sure. Okay. This is no question, right?
Yeah, maybe just want to confirm.
Sure. This we can find this kind of statements. Yeah. Okay, this one.
In his working unit, there is in order to evaluate one workers, there are systems to evaluate them. And so if these workers use some information to cheat the evaluator, and although he has no intention, he just listen to the boss, his superior, to do, would they commit musawada? This is first part of question. Second part, in the working meeting, as colleagues present in the meeting and he asked his colleagues to sign the attendance for himself. So would they consider written musawada? In the same working post, one document should be written by 2 persons and signed by 2 persons. But if one person write 2 documents or ask someone else to write the document but sign by himself, and this actions is understood by everyone in the same working unit, so would they consider musawada?
Okay, so the first one is like giving wrong information or untrue information.
Yes,
right?
Untrue information to cheat the evaluator.
Yeah, okay.
But this information given was based on the instructions by the superior.
So in this case, sure, both of 2 persons, both are like cheating, giving wrong information. So one more thing, like the second one, because of the first one, his boss, something like that, right? Out of fear, maybe she may say, or he may say. In this case, we cannot say musawada. The first one, like the boss is sure the 100% musawada. So again, the second one is also can be something wrong. Second and third question also here. This is very clear. This is also musawada because this is also wrong information, right? We cheat people, right? Also musawada, sure. Okay.
Yes, sir đó. The question, thưa ngài sir đó, sir đó, one of the men who contact to his ex-girlfriend sau khi lung lay vợ của mình, làm liên lạc với người yêu cũ sau khi lung lay vợ của mình thì có phạm giới tà dâm hay không? Sir đó, he already married to another ladies and she still contacting his ex-wife, already divorced. So in this case, did he commit the kamesumicachara? Sir đó, yes.
Just contact is not really big problem.
Yes.
Yeah. Only such a relationship is the problem, right? Contacting just like a formal conversation, it doesn't matter. They can use as the friends, it doesn't matter, right? The main thing is such a relationship is comes with jhana. Okay?
Yes, yes, sir đó. Kính bạch ngài sir đó. Vietnamese sir đó. In the case of stealing, when I'm working outside of the road and at the public place, and if somebody drops something or forget something outside, because of some reason that they're quite sure that the person will not coming back to take those things. Biết họ lại món đồ mình đang cần. But this thing she need to use, and she should take it without any permission. And nếu không được phép mà đã. So she just take it. So does she commit to the stealings at all? The question, yeah.
Okay, I can understand. Okay. So usually we have like a pansukula sanya, having perceptions of pansukula. So in this case, we can also say stila as the adinadana. We can also say adinadana, stealing. Right? So it depends on the perception you have. Then you also know that the owner will not come back. The owner will not never take it back anymore. You also have known like this. Then you also have perceptions of pansukula. Then we can also say it's adinadana. Okay?
Yes, sir. Vietnamese said, if someone using the liquor or wine with the intention to reduce the aching of like knee pain, so in this case, it considers Surah Meraya said,
Drinking or applying.
They didn't mention here said at all. It just stays use. I think drinking. I believe. Yeah.
So actually, if we have other substitution, we should use other types of medicine, right? Instead of taking intoxicants. So if like for like a cancer patients, if they have to use some morphine, something like that, in this case, it will exception. Okay.
Vietnamese said, xin ngài dạy dỗ cho con. Vietnamese said, I'm not sure that when drinking the alcohol liquor with the intention of cure the disease, but not cause in a negligent or drunk. So in this case, do I commit Surah Meraya?
So
yes,
if pure alcohol or if pure like a liquor, in this case, whether you get drunk or not, it doesn't matter. I have already said, although we're trying to taste it with a threat of grams, it is called Surah Melea, right? Breaking precepts. This is for bhikkhu. For lay person, it will be a little bit different. Okay. Now we have many different perceptions, different commentaries say different things, right? So according to Samudaya Thakatha, it will be different. But according to Sama Vinodani Iti, as soon as you take it, it doesn't mention the amount or you get drunk. It is Surah Melea, breaking precepts. So let me taste and the smell and the color and also intoxicant. 4 things we have to understand. As long as it's the taste of alcohol, the smell, the color, also intoxicant. Then if we have all these things, this is called alcohol, this is called intoxicant according to Buddha's teaching. So if there is no smell of alcohol anymore because you mess up with many other medicine, it's okay, no problem. If you are alcohol, we have to consider. Okay?
Dear Sayadaw, a bhikkhu who has committed the 4 parajika, this has been asked, but there is this part that has not been answered regarding these 4 parajika. If this Kamapata still exists, so with this existence of Kamapata, the bhikkhu will fall into the 4 woeful states in one of the future life. Is that correct? Even though, means I repeat again the question just now. A bhikkhu who have committed one of the 4 parajika, after he asked for forgiveness and become a samanera, reordained as a samanera again. So according to this, he has become pure again, and but in that particular life, he has not attained any magga phala. So the question is, since he have committed 4 parajika, one of the 4 parajika, this Kamapata would leads the bhikkhu to fall into the 4 woeful state in future life.
Okay, we cannot say near future lives, right? Because it depends on many other situations. We cannot say exactly. So it depends on, as you say, he cannot attain magga phala, but he can attain jhana also. it depends on situations, right? We cannot say exactly in this case. Okay.
May I ask Sayadaw, what is the name of the sutta that Sayadaw mentioned in the sutta related to husband and wife responsibility, etc.?
Mm-hmm. Okay, this one is from Singhala Sutta or Singhala Vara Sutta from Dika Nikaya. The last book, sir? The last part. The last part means there are 30, or the last 10 maybe. In the last 10, one of the Sutta is Singhala Sutta or Singhala Vara Sutta.
Vietnamese, dear Sayadaw, tofu. This is a bean curd. Bean curd. Inside the bean curd, there is alcohol. If someone eat bean curds, would that consider breaking the precepts?
Is it? I see. Okay. In this case, as long as it's no alcohol smell, right? If no smell, no taste, no color, we can also say this is taking intoxicant.
Vietnamese Sayadaw, if person A used to do surgery for patient B, and patient A also sponsor 4.42 thousands for the surgery for B. So B, after surgery, 2 years after the surgery, he passed away. Then after that, A, the one who did surgery, claim money from the daughter of patient B. So in this case, would A consider breaking the Musawada precept?
Sure. This is also sure. This is Musawara precept, sure. Not only Musawara, actually, this is it. Like it also can be Adina Dhamma because she said he supports in the very beginning, right? He said
Yes, Sayadaw.
Right? He supports. Later, he just went to take back his money. So in this case, not only cheating, also Adina Dhamma both.
Yeah, but Sayadaw, the second portion of the question is, would they consider Musawada, or is it just a regret of giving the sponsorship?
Okay, so in this case, we can say regret, but another thing is that, it's totally bring back. This also, the owner must give, return, the patient B daughters must return the money unwillingly, There's also stealing. By force, she take back. Like this.
Dear Sayadaw, if one takes a precept and read news online to be aware of what is going on around the world, is it breaking the precept number 7?
Okay, in precept number 7 this is like a Nechagita, right? So you are not enjoying Nechagita. You are just listening to the news. So in this case, we cannot say breaking these precepts.
Yes, Sayadaw. If a lay person, he try to live a living by fortune telling or evaluating the feng shui, or someone invite others to tell fortune or to see the feng shui, would that have any bad effect on their Noble Eightfold Path?
Actually, fortune telling for lay person, we don't say anything about fortune telling as long as he or she didn't cheat, right? It doesn't matter. So at the time of the Buddha also, Konanya, but never Konanya was a fortune teller. Then he also attained as a bhikkhu. He can also attain headship. We have this kind of culture even at the time of the Buddha. It doesn't matter in this case. As long as he's telling the truth. This is okay, no problem. Next one.
Yes, Sayadaw. This is a similar question. A person have committed the 4 parajika, but after that he reordained as the samanera to become purified again. In the present life, he has not attained Maggaphala. So again, the question, he want to confirm again, these actions of breaking the parajika, the Kammapada still exists or not? And this Kammapada, would that be a cause for him to fall into the hell in future life?
Still asking the same question, right? Kammapada. So, okay, one more thing. I have to answer the same things, right? So I think that kind of thing can be found in Vinaya Pitaka or somewhere. It doesn't matter. The main thing is, we cannot say exactly the future. I have already said, although he cannot attain Megapala, he can attain jhana. If he pass away with the jhana, he can be removed in the Brahma realms. So by entering into asset concentration, if he pass away, he can be removed as a deva or human beings. That is why. Yeah, in this case, we cannot say exactly. Right? We cannot say exactly he will be reborn. We cannot say definitely like this. So Kamapada is a Kamapada, but we have to understand many different things. So when you go and read in many different commentaries, and you can also find the same informations. So after disrobing, or after being as a samnita, he may practice well, he may behave well, for example, then it will be okay. As long as you didn't break very, very heavy mistakes. As I have said, 5 mighty karma, or maybe any bhavada karma, it will be okay. No really big problem. Okay? Ita vada ja'amehi sambadam bunya sambadam sabbe deva numodandu sabbe buddha numodandu sabbe saddha numodandu sabba sampati siriya idam me nyatinam hodu sukhita hondu nyatayo idam me nyatinam hodu sukhita hondu nyatayo idam me nyatinam hodu Sukhita hondu nyadayo idame punyam asawekaya waham hodu idame punyam nibbanasa bajayo hodu mama punya bhagam savasadanam bhajemi te sabe me samam punya bhagam lavandu sadhu sadhu sadhu